Abusia breaking news. Enoda and the news eba yese etutuo bi akoso ewo Burkina Faso ama omokum omoso jafoni bi na abusia de abetom ene say yese Burkina Faso president eye acting president emprempremu eye wo mu leader as so far wono na wo control wo man no Ibrahim Traore abusia de abetom ene say yese wakum innocent 100 civilians bi eye 100 Burkina base wakum womo awo Burkina Faso honom na mesramo yenkwankwatie emunsam sede sie den esi atie eye Burkina Faso president Ibrahim Traore ayesi wakum civilians more than 100 awo akonom ayesi wo moye innocent awsia yentie emunsam awo kase embralak video na share na afoforo enya bi enje.
Shocking news coming from Burkina Faso. The French media have been saying that over 100 civilians have been unalived by President Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso. They've been saying this for a while, and now the Human Rights Watch of Burkina Faso are asking for an investigation to be done. But here's the thing, the French media has not provided any evidence. They're saying they have witnesses who are willing to come out, but they're not showing any witness. They're saying that some of the civilians that witnessed the unaliving, they fled to Mali, and that's where they got in touch with the French media. When the French kept on saying that, BBC started to echo the same thing, but no evidence is being put out. The French have been asking for Ibrahim Traore to step down. But when they ask for those witnesses, they keep saying, they're coming, you just wait, they're coming. I'm wondering, even if those witnesses come, are you sure they're not just paid off by the French government? How can we be sure those people are even Burkina Faso? They can be Ivory Coast people. Remember, there were fake protests in France by people alleging they were from Burkina Faso. But when investigation was done, they were actually from the Ivory Coast. So most likely, the French media will keep on saying this until people start to believe it. They'll just repeat the same thing, repeat, Ibrahim Traore is bad, Ibrahim Traore is this, and they will keep asking for him to step down. But Africans are smarter now. They don't just believe anything they hear. But what do you think about all this?
I have some major breaking news coming in now. This is fresh news. It has just landed now. BBC has published a report claiming that Ibrahim Traore, together with the Burkina Faso army, has unalived 100 Fulani men. And the people in Burkina Faso are now in the streets claiming that this is false allegation. Now, this is an article that has been posted by BBC and Al Jazeera. This is just after Ibrahim Traore came from Moscow in Russia during the parade. And now they are saying this thing occurred in Burkina Faso when the army went and took the Fulani people who are civilians and unalived all of them. The people in Burkina Faso have said this is false allegation, this is propaganda, and this is how the Western media wants to put down Ibrahim Traore. They are not going to back up. They are going to fight to the end. And they have said that the Western media must desist from reporting false allegation against Burkina Faso president and trying to taint his name in the African nations, claiming that Ibrahim Traore was involved in the unaliving of those people.
Major breaking news. West medias are going after Ibrahim Traore again. Can you believe this? They are saying that Ibrahim Traore is unaliving Burkina Faso people, and so far he has unalived 100 Burkina Faso people. This news was posted yesterday by BBC, but the problem is that this is the same narrative. They keep saying this story, spreading all this information all over, and this is the main reason why there are people, Burkina Faso people, protesting, demanding for Ibrahim Traore to step down, because they start believing France that Ibrahim Traore is unaliving people. The human rights organization, they are saying that Ibrahim Traore and his soldiers, they're the one who went around in the Fulani community and unalived children, women and their husbands, 100 people, and the one that survived, they land all the way to Mali. Mind you, this is the same story they keep saying over and over. Now the human rights, they are saying that they want investigation. Actually, if it happened, the Burkina Faso people would have been able to see this. There will be videos all over social media showing exactly what is happening. But there is nothing. So now they are trying everything. This story has been there over and over. It's not an...
Now, we Africans, we know very well that the West African countries, the likes of United States of America and France, you really hate Ibrahim Traore. You will not believe this. Imagine BBC News published that Ibrahim Traore has already killed over 100 civilians. Just imagine, so unbelievable. I think it's high time United States and France, it's high time you leave Ibrahim Traore alone. This man is our leader, and he's willing and always ready to fight for the rights of the black people. He's the only person that we have. You have no reason to hate Ibrahim Traore. Leave Ibrahim Traore alone. Please, please, West African countries, leave Ibrahim Traore alone. He's the only African president that we have at the moment.
This week, you might not have heard, but there is a revolution against the West brewing in Africa right now. And this one man from Burkina Faso is the reason why. Let me introduce you guys to 37-year-old Ibrahim Traore. He is the second youngest head of state in the world right now, and what his supporters say he represents is simple: African independence. Because here's the truth: Africa is the richest continent in the world in terms of resources, from gold, diamonds, and oil to cobalt, lithium, and rare earth materials that power your smartphones, my camera, our electric cars. Yet at the same time, most African countries rank among the poorest in the world. So what's up with that? Well, partly, and remember, there's many reasons for one thing to be true. One of the reasons is that for over a century now, multinational corporations and foreign powers, well, they've been extracting Africa's wealth without building long-term prosperity. Couple of examples for you. Mining contracts often send up to 90% of profits abroad and leaving behind environmental devastation. Foreign companies often win billion-dollar worth infrastructure deals like to build roads, airports, and railways, but then rather hiring locally, they import workers and send profits home. France has even charged former colonies so-called colonial debt and still controls 14 African countries' currencies through their CFA franc. And there is like endless examples of this, and I'm not even talking about the new wave, which is the tech industries. And they are just scooping up all of the lithium and the cobalt to transition to green energy, while the African countries themselves rarely get more than a cut of the raw material price. And this is where Ibrahim Traore comes into the picture. You see, Burkina Faso is a former French colony, and when he rose to power in 2022, he began accusing France of neocolonialism, which in other words is when a country is still kind of trying to control the other, but now through more hush means than just directly. So things like propaganda, government destabilization, coup attempts, assassinations, things like that. So when Traore came into power, he made a whole bunch of major changes. He ordered French troops to leave the country, ending military agreements with them. He banned the use of British and French colonial-style judicial wigs in effort to decolonize their judicial system, although this is largely symbolic since Burkina Faso in particular doesn't necessarily use them. It's more like Kenya, Nigeria. But he's also been making changes far larger than banning wigs. He started cutting ties with foreign companies involved in Burkina Faso's infrastructure development, like roads, airports, like I mentioned before. And now he started replacing them with locally equipped and trained workers, also buying almost 1,000 road building machines for them to use. He's introduced policies to boost local control over food production and processing. He's pushing for greater state control over their own energy, particularly electricity, so they reduce dependence on foreign suppliers and improved access. And then, this is probably the clearest statement to the West yet, he's been buying back a number of the country's major gold mines. And buying back being the key word because they were previously owned by foreign entities. And the thing is, he didn't just take it back with force, with military control. He bought it. He paid $80 million for 2 of the country's gold mines. He called the purchases a reclaiming of national wealth from exploitative foreign ownership. But the story gets crazier, right? Of course it does, because what started in Burkina Faso is now become something much bigger. They have now joined forces with Mali and Niger to form the alliance of Sahel states, basically saying, we've got each other's backs and we're all done with Western influence.
Abusinya, yes, na chese we ani die echegu about Burkina Faso and sense so far. Eye aborofo nso accuse Burkina Faso leader say wakum nipa binum asede Burkina fo na nkasa si chiro mu nsemu no omu no moti Burkina honom omunya hunu nipa aborofo yika say wahu eye Ibrahim Traore widen wakum omu no moti honom po munya hui nso aborofo no mo se so omu wo mu kuro mu mum aiden ahu amsia ye follow di besini di be ko nyina no ye de babramo awo ye platform yi so subscribe for update na nimfa wo ANC ahasi yen.